Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. I am still Cedric, and as you see, the decorum is a continuously changing something. I added some lights on both sides and yeah, put my curtain in place, which I forgot last week. Anywho, today we are gonna talk about another alcohol-free or low on alcohol beer. Again, one from brewery Vandestreek in Utrecht, who I already told you guys about in brew review number 59 about, which one was it? Was it the Playground or Broeders? It was Broeders. I'm gonna take the can with me for this because I thought this was just a Vandestreek beer. Got the iconic background, the paper label stuck onto it, but then I started reading the label as one does, and we see a few other things here. For starters, Funhouse, a can full of taste and fun. Funhouse is a fruity and tasteful non-alcoholic New England IPA for everyone who likes to have fun. I'm starting to get the idea that fun is the key word in this beer. Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops and yeast. Unfortunately, they're not saying which hops, but of course it's a New England IPA, so I'm guessing they're the rather fruity ones, the rather tropical ones. I see that you can't drink this when you're pregnant, even though it is alcohol free, and this is completely vegan. Now, alcohol free, the regulations depend on the country you're in. For example, this is a Dutch beer. In Holland, the law states that an alcohol-free beer can be called alcohol-free when the alcohol content is lower than 0.5% ABV. I don't know every law from every country. I'm actually not even sure I'm right about my own country. But what did strike me as odd was next to the Vandestreek logo here, it says Gweilo with some Chinese symbols underneath. And yeah, of course I wanted to know what that meant. And apparently this is not a Vandestreek exclusive. This is a collaboration with Gweilo brewery in Hong Kong. Now, I can't find that much info on Gweilo, but I did see that it was founded by 3 white people, and that is a important detail in the story because that's also the namesake of the brewery. Gwei-lo apparently is old, or not so old, is Cantonese slang. It's a pejorative term for foreigners, or actually for Westerners, and when they just say Gweilo with nothing attached, they actually mean white people. And I've read that it even goes so far as comparing it to the English N-word, etc. So these guys just had a laugh and called themselves Gweilos. I've also seen it compared to the Spanish gringo. So yeah, depends on who you ask on how bad it actually is. Anywho, Gweilo was founded in 2014 and produced their first beer in 2015, and apparently they immediately had a hit. They made a pale ale and an IPA, and with that IPA they immediately won the best British style award at the Hong Kong Beer Awards. Now bear in mind that the Hong Kong Beer Awards do not hand out medals, so there is no bronze, silver and gold. There is just the award in itself. Technically, they have or had a limited range, starting with just the pale ale and the IPA. Now they have several more, but Gweilo does a whole lot of collabs. Collabs with Vandestreek, obviously, but also with some other big names like Mikkeller, Brew York, Salt, Behemoth, Far East Brewing, Rocky Ridge Brewing, in several countries. And currently they have 70 beers accredited to their name in Untapped. They also sell in the UK and Australia, and I've seen that they even brew at the Rocky Ridge Brewing in Australia, which is of course a good idea if you want to keep the transportation costs low and your beer fresh. Besides, there's nothing wrong with keeping your transportation costs low, because that's also the ecological way to go. I don't know where they're from originally. Might be English, might be Australian, might be Belgium for all I know. But all that I do know is, their slogan is simply redefining, and they say they are simply redefining the essence of craft brewing. They don't go into much detail, but they do state that quality is their main concern, as they should. And they seem to draw that line from beginning to end. So from design, taste, recipe, packaging, everything you can think of. So let's find out. I still don't have a Vandestreek glass. Couldn't get my hands on it. Haven't been to Utrecht yet. So I am using my trusted tasting glasses. Yeah, that already smells very very exotic, very tropic. I already get some sweet scents, tiny hint of carbon dioxide, a lot of mango, I think. Yeah, mango, a bit of citrusy notes. Let's see what gives. Another surprise, because it's slightly hazy, but I would have expected it to be hazier. It's very, very pale, more like to the yellowish side. Quite a bit of bubbles. White foam, a lot of foam. Nice thick foam as well, nice and creamy. Yeah, just goes on being exotic. Some mango, maybe some papaya. Some stone fruit in there. Oftentimes in non-alcoholic beers you have this, how can I call this? It's like an aftertaste, but in the smell it's like a side scent or anything. Like leftover carbon dioxide, like when you shake a Coke bottle very, very hard and then you open it, except for the gushing, you get this cloud of CO2 that escapes and that leaves and that fills your nose. And I don't have that with this beer. So either it's lighter on the CO2 side or it's well made. Now, I can only speak highly of Vandestreek for as far as I know them. So I would say it's a very well produced beer. But as usual, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So, cheers! Oh, another surprise. That does not taste the way it smells. I don't mean this in a bad way. It's just surprising. As expected, rather low on the carbon dioxide. Quite thin mouthfeel. Of course, as we already stated, alcohol produces a much fuller mouthfeel, and since this has no alcohol, you gotta pay for that somewhere. But it's absolutely not bad. The taste is a bit less tropical, it's closer to home, more citrusy, slight sour, but a pleasant sour taste, like green limes. And I think the most powerful taste in here is, yeah, like yellow grapefruit. Yeah, I get a whole lot of grapefruit in there. The aroma has faded. Of course, our foam dissipated, so it did get the chance to escape. And actually, this is very, very refreshing. Slightly reminds me of a pamtan, which is an alcohol-free cocktail, if you will, that we often drink here, which is pamplemousse, Dutch for grapefruit. So grapefruit juice with tonic, and that's quite bitter, but also very, very refreshing, very hydrating. Very popular here when people go to saunas, they drink pamtans. And this reminds me of that. Now, as some of you might already know, I'm a rock climber, and whether it's outside on the rocks or inside in the gym, we don't drink and climb. I'm quite fond of my bones and my limbs and my tendons, and just like you're not drinking and driving, I'm not drinking and climbing. So of course we still love our beer. We like to have something non-alcoholic. For instance, my climbing partner doesn't drink at all, not even when he's not climbing. So something non-alcoholic is very nice to have, and especially in summer days when we climb some rocks, like in Italy, or for instance, where it's very, very hot. Or last month I went climbing in Calpe in Spain, and I could have used this because this is very, very refreshing. Okay, so roundup of today. Yeah, another very well made beer by Vandestreek and Gweilo, apparently. It's quite thin on the mouthfeel, but I still very, very much like this. Pleasantly surprised by the grapefruit tastes in there, the most powerful taste, which I didn't expect. Like I said, the aroma was a lot more papaya, mango, exotic fruits. So yeah, another hit in the non-alcoholic segment by Vandestreek. And some of you asked me to rate beers. I think I would rate this, let's say, 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, let's make it a solid 6.5. Maybe even a 7 on a warm day. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna empty this and I will see you guys again, because today is Friday, yeah, next week. So, cheers you guys. And as usual, if you like this video, let me know if you have anything to add. Comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll get notified when I upload something new. And in December I will be uploading a lot. Yeah, let's keep it at that.